What is going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMDTNT, where I am living my dream, trading and traveling. Hope everybody out there is doing well. As for myself, I am doing pretty good. It's been a minute since I got on making an actual trading video. I have been doing some live streaming of what I call the LMD ATS, the LMD automated trading system. But as I sit here getting ready to deploy it this evening, I figured I would go ahead and get a video done, just kind of talking about what I have been up to. Still trading, still day trading, still kind of swing trading. Of course, I'm still long-term investing. I tell everybody day trading is not for everybody, but everybody should be long-term investing. That's for another video. But I do want to just kind of explain what I've been up to most recently. Like I said, I had been doing some streaming of an automated trading system that I've been working on. Been building this thing out in NinjaTrader. I think NinjaTrader is probably one of the better platforms, especially for futures trading. But once you can implement, if you have a trading strategy that you can build out into an automated trading strategy, I think NinjaTrader hands down is about one of the easiest platforms to deploy it on. Especially if you have a developer that you're working with that can easily go through and code this thing out just based on what you tell it. Yeah, I think it's an amazing platform for that. So for the last few weeks, I have been working on building out this automated trading system. I love day trading, but I still struggle, y'all. I still struggle. I make money. I was trading a couple of take profit trader pro accounts last few weeks. I got some payouts, did some super things and blew them up. So I think I'm a decent trader. I got a lot of work to go, but if I can build an automated trading system that takes my emotions out of the market, hands down, that's what I'm gonna do. Me and Spark used to go round and round with it. Even when Vega was in the Discord, he kind of chimed in on it as far as kind of like building out a system. I was one of those that I was on the same line as kind of Vega was. Like, I enjoy trading. I don't think I want to build me out an automated trading system. No, no. The way that this thing trades, I could never trade like it trades. So first thing I want to do, let's see how we're going to do this. We're going to jump over into NinjaTrader. Let's do that first. And then I'll kind of show you, kind of go backwards with it. This might be a fairly long video, but I think it'll be worthwhile. This just shows once you build a strategy, you can go into the strategy analyzer and kind of back test it. And this is where the beauty happens. You can back test this thing, and I'll tell you, this will humble you when you first back test your strategy. You see, this is just showing showing Friday. It was red Friday. Not bad, but it's bad when you back test for a full month and it's huge red. Even worse when you back test for the year and it's extremely red. Like, this thing will humble you. But if you stick with it, kind of think outside of the box sometimes, you can tune this thing in to make you some money, and it's not just going to show you money on this screen. So like I said, Friday, red day. I'm gonna back this thing out. Let's go out 2 weeks just so we can kind of see. And before I do that, I'm gonna show you what I like to see when I'm back testing. I never really understood profit factor until I got into back testing. This is the most important number I look at now, my profit factor. Next thing I look at is max drawdown. It's next thing I look at. And then I'll look at the net profit, but that's not the most important thing to me now. Most important thing, profit factor. But we're going to take a look at, we'll go back 2 weeks and run this thing. Let's take a look at it and see what it did over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. First thing we look at, profit factor. It's a 2.06. Most investment sites, most trading sites you go to, they tell you you want this profit factor over 1.5. Anything over a profit factor of 1 is profitable, but it's on shaky ground. If you can get it up over 1.5 across a diverse span of time, it will make you money. So like I said, first thing I'm gonna look at, profit factor 2.0. That's over the 1.5. Max drawdown 528. It's a little high, but not bad. You can kind of manage that. And then the next thing I do like to look at is average trade. So this is just telling me that on average, my trades make $33.98. That's decent. All right, next, let's come on down and let's back this thing out a month. Let's see what it made for the month of March. Again, you want it to continuously have a decent profit factor over 1.5. So 2.19, we check that box off. Max drawdown did not increase. That's good. Average trade, $37.39. Something else that I didn't mention that I like to look at is the largest losing trade. My largest losing trade was $70. My largest winning trade, $400. I kind of put the cart before the horse when I started looking at these numbers to kind of tell you, one, why I say I could never trade like this, and two, why you will see these numbers like this. And this is taking 53 trades for the month. So it's not a heavy trader. Percent profitable, 40%. A lot of people will look at that and they'll be like, that's garbage. That's why I quit paying attention to the percent profitable. That there is the most important thing I look at, profit factor. But something else that you can come down and look at, a lot of people like to look at the R's, the ratio. So this thing is trading at a 3.3 to 1, meaning it's 3 to 1 on the money. If it loses 1, it's making 3. That's something else that's somewhat important, but a lot of times people can give you this number or they can give you this percent number and make a strategy look a lot better than it is. I can tell you that I'm trading at an 80% and still be losing money. I could tell you that I'm trading at a 5 to 1 and still be losing money. But if I tell you I'm trading at a profit factor of 1.5, you know that it's a solid trading system. And this one made $1,981 for the month of March if it took every single trade. And then we'll back this out to January, and then I'll give you the parameters that this is trading at. I'll give you the parameters that it's trading at. Told you this might be a little long, but I think it's going to be worthwhile, y'all. I think this will be worthwhile, especially for the numbers people. So this might take a little bit. It's going back and back testing all the way for year to date. All right, we're there. Okay. First thing I'm looking at, profit factor, 2.21. Look at that. We stayed actually over a profit factor of 2. Now, I'll tell you, when I first coded this thing out, I was so focused on this profit factor that I had this thing up to about a 4. I had it up to about a 4 because that's what I was focused on. Max drawdown, look at that. It has not increased over the entire span, 528. Decent profit, 53.41. This is where I will explain. When I had this at a 4, this was probably making $3,000. And that's because I had the strategy over optimized and it was not taking a lot of trades So it wasn't taking a lot of good trades. It wasn't taking a lot of bad trades. But I asked ChatGPT, that's my developer, y'all. ChatGPT, just so you know, is my developer. And ChatGPT was like, no, you over optimized your edge. As long as you staying over 1.5 and you're not excessively trading and you see your P&L going up, you could drop that down. So that's what I did. This past week, I focused on dropping that profit factor while increasing the net profit. And we did that. Based on TradeEvate's commissions, I would have paid $314 in commissions. What else is important here? 145 trades. Not really overly trading. That's for 3 months. 3 full months, 145 trades. As we go down, we'll see what that breaks down to. Average trade, $37. That's nice. Average winner, 159. Average loser, 52. Guess what? We still stayed at a 3-to-1. Still stayed at a 3-to-1. Percent profitable, 42. Crept up a little bit. But this is what I want to show you. Average number of trades per day. It's only taking 2.47 trades a day. Most times it's taking 1 trade, 2 trades a day. I did implement another edge within this, and that kind of boosted up the profit. It kind of lowered the profit factor, and it increased the number of trades per day. So, booyah, that's that. But I'll run down what the specifics is on how this edge made this much money over 3 months. It's risking $80 per trade, max. Because you notice, look, largest losing trade, $71. Average losing trade was $50. But the max that it'll risk on a trade is $80. Max contracts is going to take is 2 contracts. Max points, 40 points. This here was important for me when I was doing my back testing. If I increase this anything over about 45, it started degrading the edge. So let's say I want to risk 50 up to 50 points. That technically is up to $100. Started degrading it. Let's say that I wanted to risk $200 a trade, which means that I could actually technically have this max points at 100 points. That degraded the edge. So 40 points was the sweet spot. Max loss overrun. This just means that if it goes over that by $15, it's going to automatically kick me out of the trade. Didn't have to worry about that. Max look back bars. This is where I set my stop at. I set my stop 6 bars previous to where the entry was at. Does have a daily loss limit in there of $200. I think on 1 trade, it did exceed that. We'll look at trades in a minute. And then pre-trade daily loss limit 165. So what this here means is if I'm down $165, it's not going to take another trade to try to get to this 200. It's something that kind of buffers the 200. My daily profit goal 600. When this makes 600, it shuts down. And then this right here, y'all, is what's crazy and what I say I can never do. My primary target, y'all, when trading is 6R. This thing is set to make 6R per trade, but it has step targets. And again, this is all during the back testing, what I figured out. So first step target, when profit hits 3R, it will lock in 2.25R. So on any green trade, it's going to at least make 2R. If it can hold and get past this step target, the next one is 5R, and it'll lock in 3.75. So if the trade goes 5R, it's going to lock in 3.75. And ultimately, if we can get 6R out of the trade, we are doing good. So I set this up to trade evals for y'all people that's out there doing the prop firms. But what I found was that within the prop firm space, first you have to make the eval. So you got to pass the eval. Would not have been a problem max drawdown never got close. After you make the draw or the eval, then you got to go into the pro, and you have to trade the pro and get over that buffer in order to get a payout. So I was like, man, bump that. I can just trade my cash account, but let me ask my developer what they think. So that's what I did, y'all. I came over to Chat GPT. Came over to Chat GPT and I asked him, which would be the smarter option? $1,500 funded cash account that I have a reserve that I can, if needed to, add $100 per week, or a $50K take profit trader eval for a steady long-term plan. So basically, I got $1,500. I want to throw it in a cash account, or should I stick to paying $105, get a take profit trader eval, and go that route? So ChatGPT was like, yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, I know, I asked it. And what it said is, this is my position, or this is the position within the edge. Proven system, variant B locked in. This was something that we have been working on as far as those step targets. Says that we got control risk, $80. Automation removes execution error, removes the human error, which is more important to me. Risk safeguards, we got daily loss limits, and we got a pre-trade cutoff, and low trade frequency, 2 to 3 trades a day. Y'all saw all of that within my summary. 2 paths. Option 1, cash account trader bait. That's what I trade with. Pros, full control, no rules, no trailing drawdown. Big. I can add $100 a week if I needed to. No eval pressure, real feels, real conditions. Because when you are trading in an eval, you're trading in a sim account, so your feels not real. And then perfect for validating the automation. Cons: slow growth, smaller absolute gains, emotional attachment, because we are trading with our real money now. But you did see, risking $80 a trade, we made $5,300 in 2 months or 3 months. It's not bad. Not bad. But option 2, 50K trader eval. Pros: massive leverage. You could take up to 30, 40 contracts. Faster scaling once you pass, and can multiply your edge quickly. Cons: trailing drawdown, it's the biggest enemy. Eval pressure, rules punish normal system behavior. You're still validating the automation. Still didn't really give an answer though, right? So real question, and it's not obvious. You're not choosing which makes more money. Notice I didn't ask that question. I did not, but in ChatGPT caught that. I'm choosing where do I validate this system safely before scaling. Based on your system, has a 42% win rate. You saw that in my numbers. Losing streak 5 to 7. We didn't really look at that, but it did show that if you caught that on the screen. Has controllable real drawdowns, relies on sequence recovery. Okay. Performs best in cash environment, restricted trailing drawdown, not so much. Critical insight. System is profitable, but not yet prop optimized under pressure. The smart play, clear answer, start with the $1,500 cash account. Is that what y'all said, y'all? Is that the answer that y'all came up with? And this is why. It says why this is the correct move. Remove the biggest risk failure due to rules. No trailing drawdown. No artificial constraints. No forced shutdowns. It says that we validate the automation, which I have been doing. I'm gonna show a trade or two once we switch back over to the other screen. Says right now your unknown is not the system. System performs. It's going to be execution, the platform, live fills, edge consistency. Got a built-in safety net, which is able to fund the account if I need to. And it says that means that I survive the variance and I can extend runway and don't need to rush. So Let's keep on going down. This just kind of explains like a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 for scaling. And it just says if I go prop first, might pass, but might also hit the trailing drawdown, misinterpret the system behavior, and blame the strategy when it's really the prop firm environment. These prop firms are not really made for us to win, y'all. We can win, but they aren't made for us to win. Final verdict, don't start with prop, start with the $1,500 cash account. So that's what I did. And if you have 1,500 bucks, you see that it can actually make money. And now I can scale this thing up. I could tell it, okay, let's risk $160 a trade. Let's risk $240 a trade. Like, let's scale this thing up and see what it can do. But let's go ahead. Let's jump on back over to the main screen. And now that I have that pulled up, I'm going to go into the trades real quick. I'm going to look at some trades. And then I do have a trade that we recorded. So ChatGPT was able to decipher all of that information because I sent ChatGPT all of the trades. This is all of the trades that was taken during back testing, and it was able to decipher. This here shows the cumulative net profit from the time that it started trading, January 2nd. Came out the blocks. Nice trade. Couple of losing trades. Couple of nice trades. A run of losing trades. That's those 7 of them. Booyah, 7. Winner, loser, nice winner, 2 losers. But look at the net cumulative profit. It's just slowly growing. That's what people call the equity curve. Equity curve is just constantly growing. By February 1st, we're up $16.92. That's risking $80 a trade. And I also didn't mention when I coded this out, by sending the trades over to ChatGPT, my developer, we put together a trading plan where I actually don't trade blocks of time. It found that certain sessions during the market, it did not perform well. It would kind of get chopped up. So that number is not trading 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. That's only trading a select hours out of the day. But you notice, nice equity curve. Red trades, green trades. But notice, no red trade that's excessive. No red trade that's excessive, that's over the $80 per trade limit. That means that the automation is working good. You see these $400 trades? Look at that. That's profit target. Most of these you see stop loss. That just, and it's green. That just means that it trail stopped out. One of those step targets moved up and it hit it. But yeah, but I did record some trades. I want to say on 3-9. So I'm going to just show you the trades on the log, and then we'll look at the trades on an actual video, and then we're going to get out of here. So you see at 3-9 at 122, took a trade. It stayed in that thing an hour and 20 minutes, made 223 bucks. Next trade kicked in 321. It was in that one about 50 minutes. It had lost 38 bucks. Next trade, 9 o'clock. It stayed in that one 2 minutes. It lost $40. Then it took another one at 2:15 that afternoon. Stayed in it about an hour. Notice, this thing is in trades forever, y'all. Again, I could not do that. And this one hit the profit target, made 361 bucks. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some trades real quick. I already have the video pulled up. This is 3-9. Booyah. You see the date right there, 3-9. Got it queued up a little bit, and I do have this set to run kind of fast. Remember when I said that it won't take a trade if it risks more than 40 points? I have this set up to, if it doesn't take a trade, it'll tell me why. So this says it didn't take a trade here because the session was blocked. So after So it'll start trading at 6 o'clock. It'll cut off at 7:35, and then it won't start back up until after midnight. So this didn't take that trade. Didn't take that trade. This is after midnight, but this trade says separation. That's a filter. I have a momentum filter and I have a separation filter along with the session filters. This one here, you see that it didn't take that because of momentum. This keeps me out of chop. This keeps me out of like subpar trades. But then you see this one, risk 60 points. That risk is too high. I can only risk 40 points, so it's not going to take that trade. Let's go ahead. Let's get this thing started. Where is the start button? Hold on. Let's go full screen. Yeah, there we go. So we got it started. If you remember, that trade kicked in at about 120, I think it was. So we're just running. I have a display box here. It gives me some pertinent information. I might move that session P&L. It's basing it off of the chart, but not what I actually traded. But it's telling me my settings: daily loss limit 200, pre-trade 165, profit, my risk, my max points, and then it just tells me what the signals are. So active trade type, continuation. You see it kicked in that trade. It puts my stop in and it puts my target, y'all. Look where that target is at. That is crazy. That's what I was like, man, I cannot do that right there. That's insane. But look at that thing, man. It jumped up a quick 40 points. Quick 40 points. And this is moving good right now, y'all. But my OBS is going to kind of go into lag mode while it was recording. And it's not going to continuously let you see the candles moving like this. But we're going to just kind of watch this trade play out. Look at that, y'all. We up $100. That's 50 points right there. Boom. 50 points. Now, if you remember, I got step locks put in. So this thing won't lock profit until it hits, what was it, 3R? 4R? Can't remember what the heck it was. But it won't lock profit until it hits that. And now notice this is where my OBS started acting up. And it just bogged down. I have fixed that today. One of the scenes that was in OBS was just draining my CPU usage. So I do have that fixed now. I don't know why this is double showing down there. Let's get rid of that one. There we go. I'm gonna kind of just scroll through this real quick because it is bogged down. But look at that, y'all. We're up 77 points. The stop is still down there. That's crazy. But you know why? During my back testing, I told it when it go 1R, lock in, break even, lost money. Told it go 2R, lock in 1R, lost money. Until I finally got the perfect combination. And I might even adjust that a little bit going into Sunday's market, but not sure. But boom, notice. Once this thing hit that first step, it locked in that first step. Boom, makes another move. Look at that, y'all. We're up 132 points, $264 on one contract. Insane. Again, I could never trade like this. Look at that, man. How many points are we away? We're like 23 points from target, y'all. We're like 15 points from target. Oh, we so close. Look at that right there. It almost hit target, y'all. Notice darn profit or the step. I don't think it moved up. Let's keep going. This is the hard part. Look how close that got to target and boom, stopped out. But people were here, oh, you stopped out. Made $170 doing it though. So that was the first trade. Let's keep going. again, darn, OBS was locking up, so you can't see the candles move. This crossover, because it was in this trade right here, it didn't signal it, but it would not have fired anyway, just because of some of the rules. But boom, we get another trade activated. Look though, you see risk 65. So this is not a crossover trade. And something else that I have coded in, if you see a yellow background, that's a continuation trade. See, continuation. If it's a blue background, that's a crossover trade. That's the standard trade that this was coded out to do. But let's check this one out real quick. It's up 20 points. See where the target is at. Told you, them targets are crazy. Insane targets. Boom. It's back down at break even. Back up. Again, I could not trade this. I'd be getting out if this gets back to break even, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose no money. Let's keep looking. Just kind of chopping around. Up. Dang it. This eventually stops out. It eventually stops out. But this was that next session that I talked about. Again, risk 63. Can't take that. Those are session locks. Can't take that. You see that it did take a continuation trade. Yellow background. That's quick, easy for me to know it. Stopped out. Lost money. But let's go and see. This is just crazy. So no confirmation. This is another session filter. No confirmation. So it's not going to take that trade because of that. But it can take the, it can take, after the no confirmation, it can take a continuation trade. But this is that 2 o'clock trade. If you remember that one that said it hit target, I think. Look at that. That's crazy. Again, OBS was just on some bull crap. I had to go in and make some adjustments to that, but it's working now. Notice active trade type, it's standard. I do need to adjust the green on here because on OBS you can't really see it, but on the actual chart it shows. So I'm gonna adjust that tonight. Booyah, up 50 points. It's up $100. Just kind of scroll through this. Again, if I'm up 50 points on a trade, y'all, I'm getting out of that trade. But me coding this system has told me, turn this thing on and walk away. I tell some of the guys that hang out in the Discord, like, if you're struggling with managing a trade, put the trade on, put the brackets on, walk away for 15 minutes. Come back, look at the trade. I struggle doing that. I don't have to worry about it with this. Because also, good gracious, look at that, man. This thing, like I said, ChatGPT was just on some bull crap. Or not ChatGPT, OBS. I was trying to, it's not going to even show the move going up because the lag was so bad. But that's the trade right there. That hit target. Up 362. Just kind of scroll through this real quick. See if it has anything else of value in there. But yeah, just a quick explanation of the edge that I'm trading. It's just the moving average crossover. I found 2 moving averages that I found that just paid when they happen. So that's when you see this cloud flipping from red to green. Edge was profitable doing that, but it was leaving money on the table if it missed that first crossover for any of those rejection reasons. So I went back in and I coded it to take 1 continuation trade. And that's when you see it take that 1 continuation trade. But we'll just kind of scroll through. I'm not sure if it took another trade or not, because we're going into the 10th now. Because you see this like sitting right there. That's going into the 10th. No confirmation as the market opened. Should have been looking for the one pullback. That didn't fire. So this move right here would not have caught anything. Momo filter keeps us out of that trade. Separation filter. Notice how it's just flip-flopping. That's where those kind of keep me good and from taking a trade. Another Momo filter block. No confirmation. I don't mind it. See, in the past, these might be some trades I get in just because it's flipping, but because I have those filters put in there, my developer, we worked on getting those things kind of locked in. It's not taking the trades. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be no more trades on there. Nope. So yeah, y'all, that is what I have been up to. If y'all stuck around this long, I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Hopefully you found some value in the video. If so, please like, please comment, please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do plan on just trade. I got a computer that this will just be trading on, and I hope to record just so I can kind of substantiate what this thing is doing. Based on the numbers, it's making money. Based on what you just seen on those charts, it's executing. It's taking the trades, it's putting the stop in, it's putting the target in. At that point, it's like Spark says, the trade is in God's hands. It's either going to stop me out, it's going to go to that first step lock, it's going to lock in 2.25. If it can get past that, it's headed up there to that 5R. Then it's going to lock in 3.75. And after that, we got a good chance to go into 6R. But I can take 2 losing trades and have 1 green trade, and it's flat on the day. That's just going to the first step target. If it goes to that second step target, now I could lose 3 trades for every 1 trade. And if it hits target, now I can lose 6 trades for every 1 trade. And the name of the game is to run a string of green trades. And that's why, like I said, I could never trade like this, but this system right now is pretty optimized. Next week, I plan on deploying it full time. I plan on deploying it all week inside of a cash account. The good thing about how this is coded also, I mentioned that it's coded to not trade certain sessions. I also have it coded to not trade during news events. So this is the time that it trades. The market opens at 6. It'll trade from 6 to 7:35. After 7:35, if it's not in a trade, it won't take another trade. But if it's in a trade, it's going to stay in that trade till it either hits a target or it stops out. After that, it doesn't trade again until midnight, 11:55. Comes back alive. It'll trade from 11:55 till 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning, shuts off again. And then it won't trade again till 8:35. That way, it misses that 8:30 news. So I don't have to worry about that. And a crazy thing is, if you remember watching me live trade, I love trading at 6 and 7 o'clock hour. The stats said, leave it alone. So I blocked it. But after 8:35, it's trading again until 15:55, which is 3:55 p.m. At 3:55 p.m., it flattens all positions. It doesn't do like the 7:35 p.m. where it'll just let you stay in a trade. 3:55, it flattens all positions. That way I don't run any positions into the after the 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. That was something that was put in for trading prop accounts. But after that, it'll start back trading again. 17:55, 5:55, it'll turn back on again so it can catch that 6 o'clock. And then it does it all over again. So I'm hands off. I hit the button that says enable. It's on. The one thing that I am working on right now is setting up to where if it does error out, it will email me. It'll send me an email. I can look on my phone, be like, oh, the bot is disabled. Let me go check it out. Or it took a trade, it aired out. Let me make sure it has brackets in addition to the daily loss limit and the profit targets that are set inside of NinjaTrader. Also have those set inside of Tradovate, my actual broker, so that if it does get in a trade and the brackets get kicked out for whatever reason, max loss is going to lose is $200. Boom. If it loses it all in one trade because of an error, boom, it is what it is. But during back testing last week, didn't have any problems. Every time that it put a bracket in, we were good to go. So on that note, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I appreciate y'all checking me out. I kind of knew this would be a long video, but again, hopefully y'all found some value in it. If y'all do have any questions on setting up strategies within NinjaTrader, be sure to get down in the comments. I think I have a little bit of experience with it now. So all right, peace.